Hi, I'm kchoi. Welcome back to my channel. You can probably tell by my background that I'm not in New York right now. I am in LA to spend some time with my family for the holidays. I'll be going back to New York after the new year. I also don't have my normal camera that I use when I do film sit-down videos like this one. I've just got my DJI Osmo Pocket. This camera was just a little bit easier to bring this time around, so just wanted to address that. I do love this camera that I'm filming on right now. I use it for all of my vlogs, so I'll link it in the description box. It should be in my Amazon list in the production section of the description box. In this video, I want to talk about how to answer the interview question, why consulting? Before we get into the video, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. I'm sure you know by now that I love working with Squarespace. I've been working with them for almost 2 years at this point, and Squarespace is, in my opinion, the best way to build a website. It's an all-in-one platform, so everything you need to build a website is all in one place. It couldn't be more convenient. They basically take the guesswork out of building a website and help you just get your site up and running as fast as possible while also looking beautiful. There are so many templates that they've catered to different types of sites, whether you're creating a blog or a portfolio, maybe you've got an online store or a service, whatever it is, you can find something that fits your needs and also looks great on Squarespace. They also have a lot of helpful tools like marketing analytics or social media scheduling. I love having my website on Squarespace. I've also done a promotion case that was internal that I used Squarespace for. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that in the description box as well. I couldn't recommend it more if you're looking to create a polished website. So if you're interested in trying out Squarespace, you can go to squarespace.com/kchoi to get a free trial. And then when you're ready, you can use my code kchoi to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All of that will be at the top of the description box, so go check it out. And thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. When it comes to answering the question of why consulting, first, let's just talk about some of the different reasons you might include in your answer. Maybe you're interested in getting exposure to a lot of different industries. Consultants work with companies across lots of different fields, and so you've got exposure to a variety of industries. You might also just be interested in one specific industry, for example, healthcare, and maybe the consulting firm that you're applying to specializes in that industry. So those are kind of like two sides of the same coin. Maybe you're really intrigued by the potential of impacting a lot of companies and also understanding how they work. Consultants help companies solve problems or build strategies or communicate to their people. So you really have the potential to make a big difference and see how companies are operating from the inside. You might also like the idea of working with a lot of different people with different skill sets and experiences. Consulting firms hire bright, capable people of all different backgrounds, so to have that network and those connections is really invaluable. In my consulting YouTube videos playlist, I've got videos about the pros and cons of consulting, what skills you need to be a consultant, as well as the difference between big consulting firms and boutique or smaller consulting firms. So those videos will also have more detail that can help you figure out what it is that you like about consulting. There are also a handful of things that probably do intrigue you about consulting, but you probably wouldn't want to mention during your interviews. So things like the salary with the competitive pay that consulting firms often provide, certain benefits like possibly getting your MBA paid for. Consulting also offers a lot of good exit opportunities, which while you do want to show that you've got goals and future milestones in mind, you might not want to lead your response by talking about what you want to do after you leave the company that you're interviewing for. So now that we've talked about all the different reasons you might be interested in consulting and differentiated between ones you might want to mention during the interview and ones you might just want to keep in the back of your mind to yourself, I've got 4 tips to help prepare your response to the question, why do you want to be in consulting? My first tip is to show that you understand what consulting is. Make sure you've done your research on the field as a whole and also on the firm specifically that you're applying to or interviewing for. There is, of course, that general reputation that consulting is this glamorous job where you travel a lot, you're always interacting with C-suite executives, but that doesn't show that you know what consulting is. Show that you know that there's hard work required, that you have a sense of what the day-to-day is like because you've done your research, you've talked to people who work at that company or at other consulting firms. So don't just generalize, but speak in more specific terms so that it shows you've done your research and know what you're getting yourself into. My second tip is to tell the story of your journey. How do those things that you listed as things that interest you connect back to your story and your path? How are consulting and your interests connected to each other? And why does it fit with what you're looking for? Before I got into consulting, I was working in public relations relations, which was mostly focused on external communications to consumers and to media. As I was seeing how consulting fit into my story, I realized that I wanted to shift my focus away from the external and more internal into companies themselves and use my skills to make an impact with employees at an organization. That brings me to my next point, which is show how you bring value to the firm. It's not just about what you can get out of the consulting firm by working for them, but what they can get out of hiring you, how your experiences and your point of view can help enrich their consulting practice. Whether this means bringing in previous work or internship experience or experience from campus organizations that you are a part of, there are definitely ways to show your strengths and explain how you can leverage those to help the company as well. And my last tip is to show that you are forward thinking and you're thinking long term. I mentioned earlier that you might not want to talk about all the exit opportunities that consulting offers. Instead, maybe think about the opportunities within the firm so that it shows you've got a long-term mindset and that they can feel confident that if they hire you, you are going to stay and contribute for a while. Think about your aspirations in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and how consulting for the particular firm that you're interviewing for fits into that picture. To sum up, interviewers are going to hear so many responses to the question of why consulting or why this firm. So I think the key is to bring your personality and your personal experiences into it. A lot of people are probably going to say the same things in terms of the appeal of consulting, whether it's the variety of project work or the ability to work with companies to solve problems. You're probably going to be saying the same thing as most other applicants. Where you can stand out is your personal flair, your personal journey, and how this job is not only the perfect next step in your journey today, but also the perfect step before whatever your future goals are. I think that's how you stand out, is showing how it fits into your story and how having you at that consulting firm is a mutually beneficial relationship. That's it for this video. I know it was a bit short, but my hope is that it's straightforward and to the point and can help you get ready for whatever interviews you're preparing for, whether it's for consulting or something else. I think these tips can apply. I hope everybody is staying healthy and having a great holiday season. Let me know what other types of videos you'd like to see on my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.